We want to turn to the Hill. Congress is entering its year-end sprint right now for tax reform while trying to avoid a government shutdown next week. President Trump is expected to meet with every GOP senator tomorrow on Capitol Hill to rally support for the tax plan ahead of the crucial Senate vote. He touted the GOP-backed plan reform last night. Here's what he tweeted. Back in D.C., big week for tax cuts, many other things of great importance to our country. Senate Republicans will hopefully come through for all of us. The tax cut bill is getting better and better. The end result will be great for all. Meanwhile, a few key Republican senators have already come out against this bill. Others say they're leaning against it. Here's what House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Kevin Brady and South Dakota Senator John Thune had to say on the Sunday show circuit.
We're just encouraged the Senate's acting. We hope they deliver this week, and we're really anxious to get to a conference and find that common ground.
I think in the end we'll get the votes, but it's a process, and a legislative process. It takes time to move it across the finish line, but I think we'll get a bill to the president.
Let's bring in the president of Americans for Tax Reform, Grover Norquist, right now. Grover, it's always a pleasure. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Maria.
So what do you think? We know that John McCain and the president have a personal problem. They hate each other. We know that Bob Corker had some nasty things to say about the president. Same with Jeff Flake. Are these guys going to get personalities involved in voting for this and blow up this bill once again? What's your take?
I don't think so. Actually, over the weekend, I was going through old newspapers, and on the front, this is Bill Clinton's effort to get his budget through. 6 senators with their pictures and their personal problems that he, Clinton, and Kerry of Nebraska had. It was eerily similar to the discussion we're having. This bill is going to pass. It's too important. The support is broad. Corker helped write it. The level of deficit spending in there was set by Corker and Portman, and the deficit folks who focus on that rather than growth got what they wanted on this. You do have questions about the pass-through corporations and how that will be treated. I think there's some efforts that we can make to earn Daines of Montana's vote as well as Johnson's of Wisconsin. Both of those senators want substantial tax reform. They're not going to sink the bill. And with Corker and Flake, they've had this back and forth with the president. If they vote no, that makes them look petty and small. And those are 2 very serious senators.
But
they're
they don't
not
care.
petty.
Grover,
they're
what
not
do they
small.
care? They're both leaving. They've already said we're not going to come up for re-election. So maybe they don't care.
I think they care about the country. I think they're serious patriots, and they understand economics.
Well, you hope so anyway, in order to get something across the finish line. Let's talk about the state and local deduction. That's been a major sticking point for lawmakers in high-tax states. New York Congressman Pete King told me this weekend that eliminating the SALT could increase the average New York homeowner's taxes by at least $1,000. Listen to this.
I mean, in New York, in my district alone, I think 48% of the people itemize. And many of the homes, even though they're modest homes and the salaries are not that high, you could have people paying $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 in combined property and state income taxes. And obviously, there's homes that are higher than that. So individuals get hurt, but also the entire state is going to be hurt as far as revenue.
So then there's Susan Collins, Grover. She says keep the SALT in there. Keep that deduction in there. You're going to have to get her vote as well this week. So, and you say eliminating that deduction is actually going to help high-tax states. How so?
Oh, absolutely. Look, 2 senators can vote no. And so if they ask for too much, you look at the 6, and the 2 who ask for too much get nothing, okay? So you have to be careful if you're one of those senators holding out for something, because they can leave 2 of you at the altar and say bye, and the other 4 you can negotiate with. Ask for too much, you don't get it. Look, the problem New York has is their mayor spends too much money and taxes are too high. The state government's income taxes are too high. Ditto California and San Francisco. The rest of the country is tired of this tax credit subsidizing higher income people in very high tax states with high property taxes and high income taxes. You did see already the leader of the state Senate in New Jersey say they were going to do a millionaire's tax. But once they realized that it wasn't going to be tax deductible, everything has changed. This puts the kibosh on a whole series of planned income taxes and property taxes at the state and local level.
Yeah, no,
it's a tremendous help to New York. And what Peter King should do is help elect a different mayor and a different governor.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, his constituents are still going to pay higher taxes as a result of this elimination of this deduction. But over time, this may very well pressure the governors and the Senate legislatures and the mayors to either pull in spending or lower taxes. All right, real quick before you go, Grover, just tell us the few things that you think might change in a Senate plan this week. Possible something over SALT, the state and local deduction, possible something around the individual mandate, and possible something about the pass-through, which Ron Johnson has a problem with.
Yes. The getting rid of the tax mandate for Obamacare frees up $340 billion or so dollars. So I think that stays in because it allows you to solve a lot of other problems. The $10,000 deductibility of property tax, which is in the House and got a majority of the House supporters, including people in New York, New Jersey, California.
Right.
The Senate will go to the House version of that. They will not allow deductibility of high income taxes. States can fix that on their own.
All right. We will leave it there. Grover, it's great to see you. Thanks so much.
Good to be with you.
So you think they're going to vote on this week, the Senate, by the way? You think we'll get the vote by Thursday?
Yes, I believe that that's exactly what will happen.
Okay.
There'll be a lot of negotiating and a lot of posturing.
Well, if we get a vote, then you have to believe they have enough votes for passage.
Yes.
Grover, good to see you, sir. Thank you. Grover Norquist joining us there.